students that are on stage and the students who will be on stage for the rest of the afternoon. The band that you see before you is the Honored Concert Winds. They've worked so hard today and yesterday to prepare this beautiful performance for you. A couple of quick things before we begin. Like to remind everyone, if you want to take pictures or photos, to be sure that your flash isn't on or the light isn't on your phone so that you don't distract the students who are on stage. We'd also like to thank Richard Irby and the Techno Music Company, who are our principal sponsors for today's event, this weekend's event. Like I said, the students on stage have worked really hard with their clinician to present what you're about to hear, and we're all really proud of the students on stage. So will you please help me welcome Dr. Dominic Talanca from the University of Central Arkansas and the Honor Concert Winds. Aren't they awesome? I can't say enough about how hard these students have worked. They have been, we do a lot of these, or we endeavor to, and we go places, and sometimes it's the number of hours in a rehearsal shows. And it's like, life is hard. Not these students. The entire time, they're just like ready to go. Yes, very responsive, very engaged, and I think it shows in their performance. And that's a testament to their band directors, and it's a testament to the family support. So I'd like us all to give an applause for band directors and families. Obviously, how lucky are we to perform in this beautiful space? So that was a little lackluster and a little sad, so we're going to try again. Let's hear it for UGA for hosting such a wonderful event. But the staff here, the entire band staff, graduate students, student volunteers, student workers, this wouldn't happen. This is a massive, I think the largest event like this in the country. And so we are so appreciative for everyone who did countless hours of work to make this experience positive for these students. And I'll say another thank you later. Let's move on to the next piece. Rina Esmail is an Indian-American composer, and she's awesome. She's writing so many good works right now, and this is a new piece by her. The origins of Rosanna lie in an unfinished choral work. In the draft of that piece, I set a Latin phrase that translates to, "Give us this day our daily bread," a line from the Catholic Our Father. Though the choral version was never completed, the melody stayed with me, waiting for the right home. It eventually found its voice in this work for wind band. The title, Rosanna, is a Hindi word, meaning daily or day after day, a nod to the rituals, the habits, and small acts that quietly shape our lives. These are the things that over time become inseparable from who we are. The idea of daily bread, in quotes, is both literal and metaphorical. It can be food, faith, art, love, connection, purpose, anything that sustains us, body and spirit alike. For each of us, that sustenance takes a different form. Rosanna invites listeners to reflect. What is your daily bread? What gives you strength to face each day? And how do you choose to welcome it into your life, over and over again, as the days unfold? So, we hope you enjoy that we had two pieces up for grabs, and the students picked this one. And it actually surprised me that they picked this. I brought both of them. I thought they were going to go a different route, and they chose this one. So we hope you enjoy Rosanna. Can you all help us out just a little bit? If you're in the balcony, either of the balconies, can you move in towards the center if there are extra seats? We've got people that are trying to come in and we want to be sure that they can get in. So if there's empty seats, if you could move in toward the center. And those of you down here too, if you're in the middle sections, if you could move in toward the center so that the empty seats are on the end, then all of our friends, families, grandmas, B-moms, P-moms, they can all get in and hear their person play. Thank you so much. Sorry to interrupt. Wasn't that last piece beautiful?
While the percussion gets set for the next piece, and while our friends join us for the next piece on the concert, I'd like to tell you the next one is called Unstoppable. And this is a new one to me. This composer, Harrison Collins, is writing a lot of music for winds and is gaining a lot of popularity. He gives a long program note, but I just want to read the part that feels totally applicable to these students and their lives and what we want them to experience through music, and that is the piece, Unstoppable, is my way of paying forward a sentiment. It's a message to each and every young person in the world that no matter the difficulties or adversities they face, they can achieve anything to which they set their mind. It simply requires, as I've learned from experience, the ability to step out of one's own way every once in a while. And so he dedicated the piece to an inspiration, a gentleman by the name of Mike, and he says, "To Mike, for reminding me to let nothing stop." Pretty simple idea, but these students are here because of that mentality, that drive, that commitment to excellence, and not just in music, but in all things. And so we hope you enjoy Unstoppable. two really, a lot of people, but two very important people from UGA, students Jonathan and Angelica. Are you anywhere that you could? There's Jonathan over here, and Angelica's in the percussion section. Two children at home, or 11, or 12, as the case is with one individual in this room with many siblings that we learned. Yes, it was a lot of fun getting to know you guys. Imagine 128. So these UGA students were amazing, nothing but professional, helpful, and they made all of this happen. So I am forever in debt. So appreciative. Thank you, and let's hear it one more time for these UGA students. Fernandez says about the final piece. In my mid-20s, about 30 years ago, while I was still a new high school band teacher, I promised my father, Jorge, that I would someday write a piece for his mother, who succumbed to cancer at 34, when he was only 6 years old. Our grandmother, Armanda Martinez, was a flamenco dancer in Spain, and mother to 3 young children. She had a generous, loving, yet fiery personality, and struggled quite valiantly to stay. The whole family traveled from Spain to Cuba to secure her surgery with a renowned specialist, even with bare financial means. After finally retiring and devoting all of my professional efforts to composing, I decided it was finally time to keep that promise and share part of our family's story of devotion and resilience through a passionate 3/4 march with a flamenco flavor and a paso doble feel. She talks a lot about different aspects of the piece, and then I'm going to skip forward. In the last few bars, to me, it symbolizes my own relief in finally keeping this promise. I hope this work can bring joy to players and audiences. I think we've had a good time playing it, and especially our students. In that way, a grandmother I never met and who did not get the chance to stay and raise her own children might still be able to contribute smiles to someone else's kids. It's never too late to keep your word. Thank you so much for your support of these children and for this event. And this is our final piece. Thank you so much.